Welcome back. You're now watching the political segment on The Weekend Show. As Nigerians prepare for the 2023 elections, the candidates have been selected and vice presidential candidates in the presidential election have also been selected or chosen by the candidates and their parties. But before we delve into that, for the people in Osun State, today we have elections in Osun State, and so we are advising people to go out and vote. Don't sell your votes. Vote, protect your votes, and stay till it's counted. Back to the topic of the day. The APC presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, last week unofficially announced the former governor of Borno State as his running mate, Governor Kashim Shettima. This has caused a lot of uproar in Nigeria, as several people have said the last time we had a Muslim ticket in a country which is equally split was in 1993. How does this affect the elections? How does this affect Nigerians? That's the conversation we'll be having today, just before the Osun State elections take over. And joining us we have
Honorable Usman Ibrahim. Welcome to the show. And of course, High Chief Michael Ajayi, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
And one of our regular faces, Calvin Emmanuel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Honorable Usman, we have to start with you. You are an APC faithful. At a time when Nigeria is quite divided, there's a time when people in places like Southern Kaduna are complaining about violence against Christians. Just last night, two Catholic priests were kidnapped. What's your take on the selection of a fellow Muslim for the APC presidential ticket as the vice presidential candidate?
Thank you very much, my brother. You see, we need to look at ourselves as a nation, Nigeria. We said we worship God, and God is just one, that through Christian or through Islam. Just that's the basic things that everybody should understand that first. And of course, politics is all about numbers. If you can get the numbers, you're a winner. Look what has happened just of recent, that how Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu won his primary election because he got the highest number. And I believe that's not wrong with that. But come to the issue of now that it's become almost like a national anthem about Muslim ticket and all of that. You remember? Hope 93, let me cast your mind back there. The won elections, it was the military that annulled it. And there were Muslim ticket. What's wrong with it?
But Nigeria wasn't as divided as it is right now. And I would say this because during President Buhari's administration, if you remember with the service chiefs, people complained at some point that most of them were from the northern extract, and also with certain appointments. And this had already raised eyebrows. And because of the same numbers game, that is why Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to pick someone from the north. So if the numbers are considered, what about the temperament of the nation?
Well, people have the entitled to the right. And most of those things that you consider now is social media process. That is how it is now. But the basic tenet of politics is that what we're doing right now. That's not wrong with what Bola Ahmed Tinubu done. I believe in my position at the moment. Let's get Nigeria working. That's what we're interested in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Chief. A lot of people see this as an unfair treatment to the Christians, particularly with the APC presidential candidate choosing a Muslim. So what could be the implications to the APC in regards to this?
Thank you very much. You see, to understand the implication, as you have said, you have to look at the issues from three perspectives. One, the perspective of the passionate dramatist, that is Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why did he take that decision? That is one perspective. The other perspective is to look at the temperament, as Dr. Madaki has said. That is, why are people complaining? That is one perspective. The third perspective is the historical perspective. How has it been going since 1979 to date? When you look at it, those three perspectives, then you will understand the context within which the APC candidate took that decision. Let me take it from the historical perspective in a minute. 1979, Chief Obafemi Awolowo went to the market, political market, with the barrister, then the senior lawyer, Chief Philip Emeadi. It was a Christian. Christian West, Southwest, Christian Southeast. Nnamdi Azikiwe went to the political market at that time with himself and Professor Ishaya Odu from the north, Christian. That was how they went into that election. Well, the election was close. Awo had 4.8 or 4.5 million. And Shagari then had about 5-point-something million. So the difference was not even up to 1 million. Then much later, during the time of Shagari, he himself was a Muslim. The number 2 was a Christian. Alex Ekweme was a Christian. The Senate president from Cross River was a Christian. The speaker, Chief Ebezoke, a Christian
too.
He didn't raise any eyebrow. The winning ticket of the Hope 83, as my brother here has said, was a Muslim ticket. Why did Chief Abiola, MK Abiola, take that decision? He took that decision based on the fact, as a rational thinker, this is what can give me victory. He was not fully established as a member of SDP because King Gibe, that he chose, was the chairman of the party at that time. He was well grounded in SDP than Chief MK Abiola. That is one perspective. That election was still burnt, was aborted. So we didn't even know whether that team, that Muslim, will be a success if it had been allowed to transmute into practical government. We don't even know. It's going to be a point of conjecture forever. If that ticket had been allowed to operate, then we will say yes. We can assess it and use it to determine whether this ticket is going to be a viable option for Nigeria or not. And some analysts will tell you, oh, it's because the military, Nigerians were tired of the military. No, it's not true. Nigerians were not tired of the military. It was the political elite, the 10% contractors who had no visible employment that were tired. The grassroots, those in the market, don't even give a damn which regime is in power. It is who puts food on my table. How do I get good hospitals? How do I get good education for my children? Let me summarize. Let me put it at that end.
Okay, so I want to bring. We'll come back to you,
okay.
Chief. But okay, let me let you finish.
Okay, let me strictly go to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's perspective.
Okay.
The perspective is very simple. He's a rational thinker. When you are a rational thinker, your decision will be based by a sense of rationality, games theory. Your moves it's assumed under games theory that the contestants are rational thinkers. They are going to take rational options in making their moves. A coach in a football match does not listen to this crowd, the fans, when he's choosing the team to win. So a good coach will pick a good team to win a match. It is after that, when he wins, they start clapping for him. As Niccolo Machiavelli said, the end justifies the means. So Asiwaju has calculated. Obi from Southeast definitely will have an impact in Southeast. Outside the Southeast zone, I can tell you his impact is less. And you are supposed to pick a quarter of the vote in 2/3 of the federation states in Nigeria. So then Kwankwaso from Northwest is going to pick a good chunk, going to have a good impression in Kano State. Don't forget he came second in Lagos at the primaries of APC, the inaugural primary. Yes, he came second and defeated even Atiku. So don't underestimate him.
Okay, so I want to bring, we'll come back to this, because you've said certain things about rational thinking, but this makes me question that as well, because constitutionally, if we were going by rationality, then we wouldn't have the need for federal character enshrined in the Constitution, because we say one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. And so why do we pick and choose when it comes to certain areas? However, every decision also has economic impact. And Kelvin, you've always given us economic insights when these things happen. What's your overview of this situation, and what's the economic impact going to be besides the political impact?
I listened to the Honorable speak about it being a rational decision. To be honest with you, if we're going to remove sentiments, politically speaking, it's a good decision, politically speaking. But in the interest of Nigerians, it's a horrible decision. Bringing these elections and saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu picking someone from the Kanuri, the Northeast, and note that the Northeast has not had a claim to the presidency since Tafawa Balewa was executed, God bless his soul, in 1966, trying to split that vote in the Northeast, yeah, and not minding the fact that there are 11 million Christians in the North, right? It's not good for the unity of Nigeria. So, politically speaking, I want to ask the Honorable, if it were a Christian ticket, how will they not react? We can't take away the fact that Nigeria is a multi-religious society with questions of diversity. It's a very sensitive subject. Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to drive a wedge in the Northeast, knowing fully well that a major contestant, Atiku Abubakar, is from Adamawa, where you have 12 major regions. He wants to drive a wedge in that zone. He wants to split the Northwest vote. Yeah. He wants to split the Southwest vote. He's playing a game of numbers. I agree. But the question I have is, in the interest of the unity of Nigerians, how have we fared in the last 8 years? Have we fared? Is Nigeria more at war? Is Nigeria more agitated today than it was 8 years ago? That's the question we have to ask. Because you have a situation where the Nigerian army keeps deploying to the Southeast to quell the tensions in the Southeast, stretching the security of Nigeria. Yeah. The Nigerian army is stretched. They are fighting a war in the Northeast. They are fighting bandits in the Northwest. They are in the Southeast fighting unknown gunmen. It's dividing the fault lines. So yes, politically, good decision. I agree, it's a good decision. It's a master stroke. But in terms of the unity of Nigeria, is it a good decision? Categorically, no.
Honorable, a statement that has been repeated here is that it is a game of numbers, which we all agree, politically speaking. So now, is it impossible, or is it impossible? That's the question. To fight.
Well, let me take a
Okay.
cue from my brother here. You see, in Nigeria, when we call Nigeria, we sometimes beat our chest and say we are the giant of Africa. Is it by this kind of a division, Muslim, Christian, that is how we can lead Africa? Or being a black race as a biggest country?
Honorable,
that's not it.
Honorable, the
coming.
president of Nigeria is a Muslim.
I'm coming.
The Speaker
Forget
of
about
the House of
religion.
Representatives is
The
a Muslim.
religion is
the
not
Senate
even the point
President
here.
is a Muslim.
Yes.
The chairman of the APC is a Muslim.
Okay.
The deputy chairman north of the APC is a Muslim. The presidential candidate of the APC is a Muslim. Now the vice presidential candidate of the APC is a Muslim. What do you say to the Christians?
Let's
if you talk about Islam or the Christians, what impact have they made, and how do you analyze the situation? I want to cast your mind back when Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu Jagaba went to Buhari to let him know that he has made his decision taking something in Daura. And when he come out and the journalists asked him, and the question he gave that, he took Kashim Shettima based on his credibility, his capacity, and competence. And it is there in court. I just want to tell you.
I'm not questioning the credibility of Kashim Shettima.
Yes. And that's what we're looking
I'm
in
talking
politics.
about the unity of Nigeria and the diversity
On the contrary,
of a society that is multi-religious.
It is like that. It is other even free thinkers. Forget about Muslim and
no,
Christians.
we can't forget about
there
it.
There are other people
no,
who
we cannot. Honorable, this is not a topic we can win aside.
They have not any impact to do with what our politics.
They have 49% of the Nigerian population.
My
is Christian.
brother, I came from Borno State myself.
Yes.
I want to tell you, wallahi, I don't know what is Muslim and Christian. Up to the moment, my highest friends are Christians.
Honorable, I understand your concerns, but we have to understand that in the interest of the unity of this country, there needs to be a balance of both the Muslim and the Christian.
It's not about
let's bring
into the
conversation.
The fundamental question I will ask anybody that is against the ticket: do we continue to reinforce our divide?
That is what it is.
That is the fundamental question.
But isn't this election reinforcing the divide?
No, that is not. It is promotion of national unity.
Because
if it works, if that of 1993 was not allowed to transmute into physical management
At
of
least
that
from
nation.
The variables of Nigerian elections is not.
That's what I'm coming. You see,
Mr. Jai.
if this wins and it is transformed into action, we now see how the team manages the diversity of this country. If it succeeds, we can be dreaming of a Christian in future.
Yes.
But is there no competent
why you-
Christian in the north that
No,
could have been
there are. That is what I told you. I made this very analysis that when you are going into a game, a competition, it is only a stupid general that would appoint his field commanders on the base of sentiment. You are going there to win. Win and win, not win or lose.
At the expense of the unity of Nigeria.
There's no, let me tell you, the vice president of Nigeria today is a Christian.
Wallahi, it has not to do with
Even when they imposed tax on churches, was he able to fight it? Was he not there when they were making all these various appointments that you are citing?
That speaks to his refusal to speak up at the Federal Executive Council.
If he didn't speak, then whose fault? If we didn't breathe out, you cannot speak for him.
Okay,
so the issue is, it was pragmatism. I want to win this election. A coach goes to field because
At the
he wants to
expense of the
win.
unity
What-
of
what-
Nigeria.
No, it
What-
has
what-
not
what-
hurt the
nothing to do
unity.
with that. That's
So,
not like
it has
unity.
not hurt the
So-
unity.
so-
Something like unity?
No,
unity
there
in
is.
Nigeria.
There's
What that
no-
would really
Are we at the
Kelvin,
field today?
It has not hurt.
not
High
any
Chief
impact in
and
politics, of
Honorable.
course.
It has
Kelvin,
not
High
hurt the
Chief and
unity.
Honorable.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of this conversation. We are going to continue this
Okay.
for a full hour next week with
Okay.
the three of you. So
Okay.
this is just introducing it. But I'll leave each of you with one question
Okay.
to answer in 10 seconds each. If there's no problem with this, if this sets a precedent and at some point we have a northern president and northern vice presidential ticket, is that okay based on this conversation we're having? If at some point we have a northern ticket or a southern ticket or an eastern ticket, will you still say the same things you are saying? Because it's a numbers game for a northern ticket. I'll start with you.
No, northern ticket will not work.
What about you?
There's nothing like it won't happen.
It won't happen.
I don't know what to say.
And so the
You
point
have to say
is,
something of
this,
what-
this, so like
It
I
never
said,
happened.
we are careful about setting
Yeah.
precedents,
Yes.
and this is why we are having this conversation. And I like the fact that everyone is open and honest about their opinions. This is just the first
Please.
part of this. We'll continue this for a full hour next week. So I want to thank you for introducing this conversation.
Thank you very
Because we have to go to the Osun elections, we'll come back to this with the second part of this conversation next week. You can watch this episode on YouTube, and just don't forget to tune in next week for the follow-up of this conversation, where we'll have a full 1 hour conversation. My name is Andy Madaki. You can follow me on social media at Andy Madaki on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow Didi.
Yes, Eddie Young Frank at Didi _ on Instagram and Twitter.
You can watch our episodes on YouTube, and you can also follow The Weekend Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's been a pleasure having you. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you next week.